Alright everybody, I'm driving home and I was listening to the radio and I was thinking about maybe something that you guys would like to know, so I figured I'd film this and we'll see how it goes. But I figured it would be fun to film a story time video about how me and Jon met. So if you don't already know, if you haven't watched like my first video, then I will tell you now. I was in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 8 years. When I first joined the Air Force, I turned 21 in basic training, and I was in Texas. And then my follow-on training was also in Texas. So I was in Texas for 11 months. And then I went home for a month on leave, and then I went to my first assignment in England. I was there for 2 years, and then I got stationed in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I PCS'd, or moved, as civilians call it, relocated from my job, and came out to Luke Air Force Base, and I was here for about a year, and one morning I just kind of woke up and I just like felt this like conviction, like, okay, I need to find a church. I haven't been able to find it, because I grew up in the same church my whole life, so there was a lot of comfort in that place, and so it was really scary. And then compile that with being on your own. I was 24, about to turn 25. I turned 25 the next weekend, but I was 24, and I don't know, I felt something that was just like, okay, it's time. Today is the day. We need to find a church. So I got on the internet and started looking for churches, and I didn't want to go to a church that was close to us, close to where I lived, because I figured it would be a lot of older people and a lot of families, and I wasn't. Churches don't do a good job of serving their college ministries, and part of it is because it's a really complicated age, and so you can't get people to come consistently because life gets really busy, and people are starting to define what they believe, separate from their parents, realistically. Like, they say this was to happen in adolescence, but I feel like it doesn't really happen and truly until you're in your college years and you have more control over yourself. And then once you're out of college, there's still like this weird phase where if you're not married, like I was 24, but I wasn't married, and a lot of 24-year-olds that are regular churchgoers are married and they have children, or they are having children. So it is a weird place. So I started looking, and I found this church that was like 20 minute drive from my house. No, it was more than that, 30 minute drive from my house. And so I went there, and I felt accepted. Like, it felt like home, and I was like, okay, this is a good fit. We'll try this again. Well, the next weekend was my 25th birthday, and I had gone up to Flagstaff to go snowboarding, I think for the first time. It might have been I'm pretty sure my 25th birthday was the first time I'd gone snowboarding. And so I didn't go that week. Well, the next week I went, and they were talking about starting this young adults ministry, and so I was like, well, I'll help with that. That'll be a thing. My job in the Air Force was to instruct, so I could teach. It would be fine. Well, unbeknownst to me, my now husband showed up the week of my 25th birthday in Arizona to go to school. And I had been like really lonely, and I had been like praying for the Lord just to send me a sign or send me someone, because I was ready. Like, I was ready to settle down. I was ready to be married. I grew up thinking that I was going to turn 18, 19, get married, have a couple kids. Like, at this point, I felt like I was behind almost. And so Jon was going to school at this school that was down really close to the church, and so apparently the weekend that he got here, him and his parents found the church that we ended up going to, and they visited, and he kind of stuck it out because there was the young adults ministry starting, like I said. And so we had our small groups or whatever, and Jon and I, like, we first really talked like at the beginning of February, and then we started dating in the middle of March, I think, and then we were married that November. So I don't know, I think that you can go a lot of different ways about finding your spouse and who you want to spend the rest of your life with, but it also is a lot about timing and where you're at in your life. And at that point, we were just ready, and it's just funny. Like, I think about all the things that I had to go through to get to Jon, and I'm really grateful that I got him. But yeah, so that was how we met. We've been married for 4 years. Oh my gosh, we've been married for 4 years. So yeah, we've been married, and now we have our children. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of film that little, hey, this is, how we met, in case any of you were curious. Let me know if you like that kind of video, or if there's anything else that you guys want to know about us. And I will probably try and film something together this week, because he's off work this week. So we'll probably try and film something together, and I'll try and post that soon, because it seems like people really like the videos where we're together. So, alright, bye guys.